Welcome everybody to our live stream here on lichess and Twitch. International Master Sladgie, aka William Pascal. We have Weird Wednesday, otherwise known as Fun Wednesday, unusual opening stream here on lichess. I'm taking challenges 5-3 plus 7 plus 3, 5-3 through 7 plus 3, plus a Ponda. Alright guys, plus a plush Ponda. Astrobate, what's that? We have some sort of quote. Analysis, if it is really carried out with a complete concentration of his powers, forms, and completes a chess player. It feels like an incomplete sentence. Playing rapid chess, one can lose the habit of concentrating for several hours in serious chess. That is why if a player has big aims, he should limit his rapid play in favor of serious chess. Imagine what Krennic would say about bullet. Anyway, Vlad Kramnik don't play bullet chess. But he don't play any chess anymore. He's retired. Casual, maybe. Alright guys, what's up? Taking challenges 5-3 through 7 plus 3. Welcome Astrobate, Ripun, Nubat. I'll take this challenge. It's funny, the board acting funny even here in a casual challenge. For a second there was like just the corner pieces. Like a glitch. Maybe it's not just the Swiss tournaments. Has anybody else had their boards glitching? Outside of Swiss system tournaments? What shall we play? Latvian? Weird Wednesday. Played an interesting Latvian last week against Zen Chess. The King's Gambit reverse. In reverse, if you prefer. So he takes F5 as a variation. Definitely. Let me stop and think about this for a minute. D6 would transpose to a... I guess D6 would transpose to some sort of Philidor counter gambit, which is interesting. Probably also unsound, much like the Latvian. I feel like E4 is the move, but I don't remember the continuation here. I do not remember what Black's supposed to do now after E4. Let's think logically. We will have threats of Queen H5 check coming up. Well, that is, if he moves his knight. Maybe he doesn't move his knight. Hopefully. So I want to develop Knight F6. Natural developing move allows G4. I know that. But still might be the right move. I can't recall this. This is too much of a threat. Unless you want to play something crazy like Queen E7, Queen H5 check, King D8, which just looks unsound, completely unsound. Somewhat unsound. I miss somewhat unsound. Knight F6. The main flaw of White's position might be that his knight could be attacked, but it's a little like an Aliakin's defense or something. Yeah, I cannot remember how this is supposed to go. Of course, there are probably not a lot of games to go on, but I remember the variation being mentioned in some old Latvian book that I have. But when you got these old books on openings, obscure openings like the Latvian Gambit, I mean, it's quoting some game. There's only a handful of games that have ever really been played in this position. So D3 looks like a good move. I want to develop my pieces. It's a bit of a problem. Perhaps I should play c5. But if I play c5, he moves his knight. This move does not really improve my development. All it does is drive his knight from the central position. In terms of positive factors for black, driving his knight from the center temporarily d3 is an interesting move. I was actually expecting like g4 by way to try to hang on to the f5 pawn. That's incorporating ideas of g5, but not as developmental as d3. d3 might well be better, I don't know. It's an interesting position. Kicked out of the center. Where do you go? It's Weird Wednesday, so I'm playing interesting and unusual openings. That's the idea. Go away. Go away. I don't want you here anymore. But I am down a pawn. Doesn't appear black has quite enough compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Let's see. Knight c3, d5, pawn takes c4, d4. Interesting. I think knight c3 is better. His knight can get stuck out there. It's a hybrid between Alyakin's defense and the King's Gambit. I'm playing the King's Gambit, he's playing Alyakin's defense. He's got the extra pawn. So I do have c4, he stopped that. Interesting. Materialism at its best. Materialistic approach to the game. Oh man, what am I doing? I had a terrible hallucination. I don't know about this move. Sacrificing a second pawn. It's a bit too much. I forgot how many knights he has. Like, I don't know, in my mind. He has to take there. He has to take there. I mean, he should take there. Has to, should, same thing. He can just take on c4 and white's better. That was a terrible blunder by me. It's early in the morning, I forgot how many pieces he has. We got our pawn back, but we're still in need of development. He's a strong 1400 though. Will occasionally make blunders. Good blockade strategy there. I think he had more ambitious plans though. He played it very safe, trying to blockade the central pawn. White might have had the ability to actually try to win the central pawn. Which brings us to our frequently told analogy. Not analogy, but anecdote, where Nimzovich, Aliekin, and Larsen are discussing the situation of how to play against an isolated queen pawn. Three legendary chess masters. History of the game, of course. How they think about this differently. Nimzovich, of course, famous for the strategy of blockade. He would presumably say, we need to blockade the pawn, i.e. control that d4 square, prevent the pawn from moving. Drinking mineral water. Aliekin would say we should attack the pawn, and that was what my philosophy was. White should find a way to attack this pawn, like bishop f3. And Larsen's joke was to win the pawn. Obviously, that should be the goal, ultimately. So Nimzovich's approach is kind of conservative, the idea of just blockading the pawn. Ripon can be a very good player, but he occasionally makes like terrible blunders. White has a good position here. Any sort of decent move, knight c3, bishop f3, knight d2, take your pick. And I think White, well, alright, there is a little bit of a problem with maybe bishop c2. He has to be a bit careful about his queen here. I guess bishop c2. Not so easy. Knight c3 is the best move then. But maybe the position's not that simple. Black's pretty active with the pieces. Still, this is a very bad move. He's losing the exchange minimum. Yeah, now I'm just winning. I mean, I'm just winning the exchange on a1. Big bishops. He wants to take back, but I don't think it matters. I'm gonna lose. But I blundered with c4. First of all, the opening is very sketchy for black. This was just a misconception. I thought bishop takes a3. Are you kidding? So he just takes on c4, and now he's up 2 pawns. We could call it a positional pawn sacrifice, if you like. But I'm curious about the opening. No. I got my coffee already, Lulu. Thank you. Well, Asterby plays well when he's in the right mood, but sometimes he sort of just like caves in. You got to get him in the right frame of mind or something. Sometimes he plays terrific games against me, and sometimes he just sort of folds his tent. Folding of the tent. An old expression in English when you just kind of give up. Folding up his tent. Alright, so let me check this game. The opening, first of all. And Tony, welcome. So this is a dangerous line. It's underrated. Takes on f5 is actually a pretty good variation. Here. Is it possible that d6 is better than e4? Because all the books I remember recommending e4. It's a good way to play against the Latvian. Not bad. E takes f5. Here. And this is surprising now. I don't know what opening book do I have here, but the more common move is knight e5. That seems strange to me. The knight a little overextended on e5. d4 was what I recall being the recommended move. But it's funny the knight e5 might actually be alright too. Interesting. There's a Clovans game. He was Grandmaster, is still alive, I think. I'm not sure. Clovans from Latvia. That's kind of important when you have a Latvian player playing against a Latvian. There's a tradition there. I'm not sure. I think the Latvian is called the Latvian because one of the earliest games was played by a Latvian master against Nimzovich. Maybe they had a prevalence of people analyzing the Latvian. I don't know, but then I also knew this American Latvian player, Victor's pupils. He used to play the Latvian. So Latvians really play the Latvian, which is interesting. I'm not sure if Sicilians really play the Sicilian, Antony. But anyways, so let's see. Knight d4, knight f6, d3, best move. Because I was also thinking that g4 is interesting. Not as good according to the engine. And then c5. And black is 0 for 3 here. Oh for 3. That's a good score. White is better. We got a knight e2, a knight b3, and a knight b5. And my engine isn't responding. What is it doing? Why is my engine not... It's like on strike or something? Why is the engine on strike? It won't analyze this position. Now it's working. So knight b5 is best. a6. And then I thought knight c3 here. This is... His mistake is knight a3. This is like second best move. Knight c3 focuses on the center. It's a better move. And I thought like takes, bishop takes, d5, and I'm just like down a pawn. I mean, it's nice that I have these central pawns, but anyway, good game. Alright, I've got challenges from JK, Linney, Ludlud, Krapnik, Tukame, Dracofire, and Cheesy Noob. I do take challenges from subscribers first. So who among us? I know that's popular now. Who among us is a subscriber to the stream? Cheesy Noob? Is anybody who's challenging me a subscriber? I mean, all of you guys are recognized except for Krapnik. But is anyone actually a current subscriber? Because I would take your challenge first in line. Alright, JK Linney just resubbed. Dracofire and Cheesy Noob might be subs. Let me know. JK Linney has them beat in... He has them beat in terms of the queue as well, so we'll take his challenge first. Thanks for resubbing. Guys, please subscribe. That reminds me to remind you guys to please subscribe and support the stream if you can. Alright, so let's see. I want to play something unusual. The first move doesn't really matter. I want to play offbeat stuff. So there's a gambit here with g4. It's pretty unsound. Fun though. Let's try this. I forget what this is called. It looks like something Timur Gariev would play. I don't know that guy. He seems crazy. I kind of like somebody like that. Alright, we'd probably get along well. e4. I've definitely faced this with black. This is the Knock-Manson Gambit? Is that something made up? Like Charles Manson and Nakamura were combined into one person? Is this the Knock-Manson Gambit, really? I've heard you people say this before, but I never knew what it was. When Charles Manson met Nakamura, they invented this opening. Ah. Well, I wouldn't recommend it for a long game, but it's fun for blitz, I suppose. And also for people who maybe don't handle surprises well. But I don't think that white has enough compensation for the sacrifice pawn. I also played the same way when I was black. This seems like a good way to play, kind of like a Pierce. Defend the knight, don't retreat unprovoked. There may be other ways to play, that was also my choice. The same way that J.K. Linney played here. Now I guess there's two ways you can handle this. You can play a fianchetto, or you can play it like literally like a Philidor. And that brings us to Shirov and his g4 against the Philidor. Kind of parallel idea. In the normal old school sort of, what's it called? The old-fashioned Philidor with knight on bd7. Shirov plays like 5g4. It could almost like transpose with the right order of moves here. e5, knight f3. We literally would transpose to, no. I would only play g4 in the Philidor if black is playing knight on bd7. So e5, knight f3, knight on bd7, e5, knight f3, knight on bd7 would be a transposition to the Shirov Philidor gambit. Now we have more aggressive possibilities. f4. But there's a couple different ways to skin a cat. Like we can either try to set up a battery with the bishop and queen, or we can go for more of an Austrian attack style theme here with f4. That's the question now. This is a little more direct than playing something like bishop e3 or bishop g5. I feel like we should take advantage of our chance to push very quickly while we have the initiative. Don't try this at home. Resolute. Very resolute. So it's like a check defense now. Trading queens with DE, queen d8, king d8 is definitely possible. It's definitely possible. It would liberate his bishop on f8. Anytime you make that exchange, you got to think about the opponent's pieces. It's like poker. Thinking about what the other guy has, thinking about the other player's pieces in chess. One thing that a lot of people don't think on that level, they just think about what they can do. You got to think about what you can do and what the opponent's pieces. When I exchange here, I'm helping his bishop out. That's a very important concept. So DE, queen takes queen, king takes, and I also don't like trading queens when I'm down a pawn, obviously. So my only issue is like if I play knight f3, I get pinned with bishop g4. Probably not a major problem. Actually, and Tony, this reminds me of when you play bishop g4 in the Najdorf. Maybe it's sort of an artificial solution here for black. Yeah, I'm not advocating that move. It's an obvious try. I think that now black may have some issues. I'm not an advocate for bishop g4. I'm just suggesting, I didn't mean to say you should play it. I'm just suggesting it's an obvious possibility that may not be as good as it looks. Black. Now, getting that open diagonal will help him a bit. Oh no. Ask me, where do you get this from? Where do you get those quotes from? Do you have them like written down? You have like quote bot turned on? I remember that stupid quote. I love that. Chess can learn a lot from poker. Worldwide traveling parties. What? The world of Jennifer Shahadi. Alright. We all live in a different world. I'm trying to get the white squares, but he's got knight fd7, and it's still not that easy to crack him. Cracky Crab. Cracky Crab was a amusement on the Hastings Pier. Well, it was like a one of those games where you bash the mole right with a whack-a-mole with crabs. Back in the day, one of my favorite tournaments was Hastings Challengers. It was... I feel like I'm losing the initiative with this move. I'm defending my pawn. Why don't I play e6 here? Giving the pawn back. Because I didn't see a follow-up to answer my own question. But it's sort of sad to play bishop f4. Originally I was going to play bishop e5, but I think Castle's queenside is even better. And we'll just keep bishop e5 in reserve. But I think that maybe he should consider a different approach there. Not a lot of approaches, though, to choose from. Bishop e5 in reserve. This e6 pawn sacrifice. We've also sidestepped bishop e4. I think that black is in trouble. Yeah, it's over. Is it over? Maybe it's not over. He has knight takes e5. Oof. I don't know how that's going to work exactly. This knight takes e5 rather than the other one keeps c7 protected. So knight takes e7, knight takes f3, knight takes c6, b takes c6, and black stays alive. But I was thinking just a queen move. It looks pretty bad for white. Pretty bad. Pretty and bad. Caught in the grinder. Yeah, this is over. You just have to find the death now. After queen d6, there's no immediate back-breaking move, I guess. Queen d6, knight b6, knight d3 check. Queen d6, knight b6, knight d3 check. And then he takes on f4 with check and miraculously loses anyway. Let me see this again. Queen d6, knight b6, knight d3 check. No. That is a problem for him though, because he's getting mated at d7. Let's look at this. Queen d6, knight b6, attacking his rook. Knight d3 check. Rook takes. Queen takes f4 check. King b1, and now his rook is hanging on a8, and I'm threatening mate in 1 with queen d7. And if he plays rook d8, I have rook d8 check followed by queen d7 mate. That's brutal. Protected by my knight on b6. Anyway, it's a disaster. Bishop g4 was a bad move. Yeah, it's probably lost. But maybe he can try to castle kingside here, realistically. Is there a more elegant way to win this? I could just play like bishop e5. But I'm not seeing it. Like bishop b5. What is my threat again? Philidor and Najdorf are dark square pawn structure openings. Thus you need your white square bishop more than most cases. An unexpected queen sacrifice. Nice job. Great decision by J.K. Linney. I just really didn't see this. Now he has some chances. Nice. Wow, major oversight. Maybe white's winning, but I have to be super careful now. That should not have been overlooked. Okay, on the positive side, he still can't castle. Fortunately for me. That was a nice job, though. Queen d1, terrific. And he has enough material now. He has a pawn, a knight, and a rook for a queen, which is exactly the same amount of material, 9 points. As my friend Frank said, one of the guys that I learned chess with, one of my best friends in school, he preferred to move all 9 points at once, which I think Nakamura would agree with. Advocating queen versus 2 rooks in most cases is superior. Perhaps you could have played castle's queenside. It's such an ironic move. Sort of panicked. Is this chess 960 by any chance? He just gave me a piece, and he couldn't afford to do that. I think even after castle's queenside, he might have still had a chance here. Let's see what the engine says. I don't really like knight g6. Yeah, you're still in the game, man. It's only +1 for white after castle's queenside. Fantastic. That was fun. Alright. So what do we got for any other people who are subscribed? Is Cheesy Noob a subscriber? Dracofire? You just panicked a little bit. Nice job with Queen takes D1 check. Man, how could I miss that? It's a perfect opportunity to sacrifice your queen and get out of trouble. Does bit donor count? Blood donor. We'll just take the challenges as we get them. Let me know if anybody is a subscriber. I wasn't sure about Cheesy Noob. I guess he's not a subscriber. Alright. Guys, feel free. Please subscribe. Feel free to become subscribers. Bit donor. Pro Chessy donated 4 bits. Astrobate 100 this week. We're a little low on the donations. The donation bank. It's been a slow week. I guess it's the pandemic. Low interest rates. Nobody wants to donate anymore. They're not making any money on their savings accounts. This interest rate thing is killing me. Alright, B3. So I'm trying to play unusual openings with black. My unusual openings against B3 are pretty limited. I've played A5 before, but there's not like anything too exciting. Try to play the Dutch. I've done that. Been there. Been there, done that. Starving uni student. No, I'm just targeting the wealthy. The wealthy, the stingy wealthy people. Share your millions. The poor chess player. E3. How about D6 now? Trying for E5, obviously. I think I had the same game. Was it against you? I thought it was a different player. We get a lot of B3. Is that because of Hikaru? Why are so many people playing B3? Not nobody ever really like excited me too much. I tried it a few times. I never had good results with B3. I had some tragic game I lost, I remember. Larsonian. It's like Larson versus Larson. The B3 versus F5. The double Larson. Now that you've played C4, maybe I don't have to worry about this diagonal, at least for now. So we can go with the standard sort of classical Dutch approach. The C7 pawn is a factor. Lulu, this time control seems kind of slow for you. You use 7 seconds for 10 moves. You still have your 7 minutes left. Well, anyway, I'm going to go with the King H8 anyway. That might end up being a regret, though, with that King on the Bishop E2 diagonal. I wonder if I'm making a mistake with that. What do you think of doing more with your channel points? I don't know, I'm open to suggestions. Suggestion bot. White's completely ignoring my build up on the king side. He played b3, b4 in 2 moves. I mean, that has to be a pretty serious waste of time. I haven't wasted any time except for bishop d8, which probably needs to be played anyway to give my knight a square. Lulu's just playing too fast, I would say. Lucky that his queen's not trapped here. You're cutting it kind of close there with knight e4. Trading them for money. Turning them in for Bitcoin. Is that the suggestion? You can redeem them at CVS for your prescriptions. Tinder sounds interesting, but shaving my head is out of the question. The ice bucket challenge? Maybe? Alright. I want to go bald naturally. Now what are we going to do? Knight e4. So obviously, if bishop f5, knight takes f6. Actually, what's wrong with that? I'm looking at all this other stuff, but objectively, maybe this is the simplest. Let's see, he has a stronger move than I thought here. But knight h4 is a problem because h4 hangs to the bishop on d8. But I don't mind the idea of rewards for channel points. You know, the channel points are relatively new. I'm kind of slow moving in terms of technology. The channel points have only been around for like 6 months. I haven't done anything with it, admittedly, but it is a good idea. Chance to play a heads-up poker match. Suggestion, where would we play? Yeah. I don't know how popular that would be. J.K. Linney, one of the few poker followers. D3 very solid, man. I thought this was suspicious, but the better I think about it. I was really hoping he would take on f6, but d3 looks like a solid choice. Darn. Maybe bishop g4 now. He still might have issues. But Blue is playing way too fast. I mean, I'm an international master. I've got like 30 seconds per move, and he's just like playing the equivalent of like a bullet game. You're giving me a huge advantage in terms of more time to think about my moves than you have. I'm going to be able to play strong moves. Stronger moves than you if you play that fast. Needs to slow down. With 1900, he's 0 for 6, but he should probably have a pretty good chance of scoring in 7 games. But at this pace, he's just too fast. Now we win the exchange. But the other possibility of playing f3 is interesting. To just shut him down. However, it looks kind of hard to break through. Although I leave him with a very strong white square bishop here. It's not an easy decision. That's a terrible move. I can't emphasize how bad this move is. Enough. When I take the exchange here with bishop e2, rather than boxing you in with f3, going for like a long-term smothered sort of mating attack, I think your approach has to be like, man, I have the best bishop in the world to compensate for that exchange you're winning. And that's the last thing you should do. Trade it off with bishop takes c6. That bishop was your only compensation for this loss of the exchange. Now I have very serious threats as well. I don't even have to take the exchange necessarily. I'm threatening f3, so white is lost. But that's cool though. Speaking another language, commenting on politics. Well, the politics, I don't know about that, but f3 looks interesting. Yeah. Looking at other skill possibilities sounds fun. This should be over. Bad time management. That's all I can say. And a bad decision to play bishop takes c6. Other than that, I thought white had an interesting position. Had he not played bishop takes c6, I don't know if he had quite enough compensation, but he should have quite a bit. Hallucinating. Hallucination. Hallucination station. So time. Time is the concept. I see. Maybe I have to change my approach and go back. I screwed this up a little. He's really playing for time, it feels like. But it's a bad time control for that. You don't play for time in the 7+3 time control. Allow for an online live lecture for high amounts of channel points. Usually 5 lectures. Also really engaging for the audience. Live lectures. Sorry, I need glasses. Right. Aspirate with the random quotes. Getting pretty random now. Quote bot. David Levy. I'm sure that being part Scottish, Padron Antoni would appreciate that. David Levy was like one of the early computer chess guys. in like the 70s. I don't even know if he's still alive or not. I never met him. He was friends with Dr. Kopek, who I did know. Passed away a couple years ago. Big computer people. Computer people. If you didn't blunder that, I don't know how I was going to win very easily. Maybe eventually. Would have been a long slog to win this game. Lulu, what's with your time management? You don't even have bullet games? Oh yeah, you do. You have 678 bullet. Yeah, you can view chat commands. Alright, we got a lot of challenges. I don't accept 3+2. It's too fast to talk about the games properly, so I like to do longer games. No 3+2. I'm trying to play like gambits and more fun openings today. If you guys want to take part in that theme. But I will keep in mind the channel point concept. No one had really asked about it too much, so. Alright, d6. It's a King's Gambit declined, but a kind of passive one. I mean, normally when you play the King's Gambit declined, you play bishop c5, you get the bishop outside the pawn chain. Krapnik's defense here is very rare with d6. What am I supposed to play, though? I mean, pawn takes pawn transposes to the Fischer variation. What am I supposed to do? I mean, what other move is there besides knight f3? It's weird. It's really weird now that you think about it. Why don't more people play d6? I mean, if knight f3 takes transposes, it seems kind of odd. Because pawn takes pawn is impossible. I guess I'm supposed to play knight c3. That must be the proper move. Duh. After d6, I'm supposed to play knight c3, I guess. And it's like a good Vienna. If I was really familiar with the King's Gambit, I would know that. Not on my mind here. So this is a very unusual approach. Now it's not quite as good for black, I would imagine. J.K. Linney, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the game. It was fun. I know there's a variation with knight f6 on move 2, which doesn't have a good reputation. But I don't really know the King's Gambit very deeply. I've played it for fun in Blitz off and on, once in a while, over the last 35 years, but I've never really studied it. I don't think I ever seriously thought about playing it. I think I have a King's Gambit book that I probably leafed through with a fantasy of playing the King's Gambit at some point, but never came to the point of seriously considering playing it as a real repertoire. This is basically like a Grand Prix attack Sicilian almost. Bishop c4 is also a definite alternative, but white's just better here. He didn't get my pawn on f4, and we just have a good game. We've gotten an f4 break on the f-file in a king-pawn opening. It's basically a good Vienna for white. Just a very good Vienna Gambit declined. Now, I don't know if you could try something like g6, but it looks more active but more weakening than bishop e7. Basically a positional. If you think about it, it's a positional opening. Spassky played a lot of King's Gambit. I mean, the idea is you're undermining the enemy's center. It doesn't have to be like you play like a tactical maniac. This is like overly conservative. But who knows? You know, I might be able to push my g-pawn. King h1 looks a little too conservative. My alternative really was, I thought, queen d2. You could also consider pushing with d4 and changing the pawn structure to something more aggressive. But I like my pawn structure. It's low maintenance. I don't have anything to worry about here. And now, I don't know. Taking is worthy of consideration. If I play bishop e3, he plays, I mean, bishop a4, b5 anyway. Bishop e3, knight a5. He traps my bishop anyway. However, if I take, he might take with the pawn. That concerns me. Not really an easy decision. He took instantly with the bishop. Pawn takes should be considered. Perhaps better to take the bishop and not create any weaknesses. Interesting. White is slightly better due to central pawn. This closed structure, the bishop pair, doesn't really mean a lot yet. Maybe I should be migrating to the king side. b5 is an interesting move. Perhaps pulling the bishop back to b7 rather than going back to d7. But I think he has a problem with the f5 square. As I know from my own experience. Jim, wow, long time no see. What's up? When was the last time you were here? Were you here for the simul on Sunday? He's got a lot of weaknesses on those dark squares. Lots of troubles lately. I hope not. It's all related to Tom Hanks, obviously. Yeah. So knight g4. I really don't want you getting your queen on h4, I decided. But it may not be that easy. It may not be that easy to prevent it. It's got some annoying moves here. It wasn't automatic. That move wasn't automatic. Weight is slightly better. Alright. Do we have a plan or not? Still, we remain better. Powerful pawn in the center. Some weaknesses around the black king. f6 is a little sensitive. I don't want the knight on c4 bothering me. Can we build on this position? He's playing well from what was, I thought, an inferior position. Must stop. d5. Elf needs food badly. Krapnik, I don't know, we've never played before, huh? Interesting. It's a new account. What was your old account? Maybe at some point bishop takes e5. He's got a good solid defense here set up. I've got d4. It's like a Skaveningen. White's slightly better. Schieberspieler would like this, but it's really not that much. Okay, the queen side is caving in, but not completely. Maybe it is completely. No, he's got that. He's got knight d3. I can't take unless I want to sack the exchange. Queen b4, knight d3, queen d6. It's interesting. You could sack the exchange for two connected pawns there. That's not a joke, but it looks a little risky. Now, what about his pawn on a5? Still holding this. No, it's hard to break him down. I don't know. Yes, of course. That move, rook d1. How does he defend his b4 pawn? He's basing all this stuff on tactics with knight d3. We should be clearly better. Pawn up. 3-on-1 queenside majority. Still, he's blockading pretty well. Clearly a good player. Oh, wow. Looking for tactics here, but I don't seem to have any. I don't know, this area looks really sensitive for black. Oh, I see. You're just gonna take my pawn. That's deep. Please don't ask me these questions while I'm down to 40 seconds. Unblock me or whatever. You can deal with that separately. Alright. Trying to concentrate. Can we mate him? Looks like a strong attack, but is it enough? I got a little distracted here. Damn it, he has all these checks all the time. Let's mate. You had mate in 3? He misses mate in 3. This is ridiculous. Totally winning, and I get distracted. And now I'm like losing in 2 moves. How could I find a way to get a lost position? How did I even let you out of this? So I have to take with a rook and then play queen f6? I let him play queen e1 check and queen g3 and then rook b1 and mate. But I didn't see how to win. Queen f8 check, king g5, queen d6. That's hard to calculate. That's the only way I can win, apparently. Like, check here, takes on d6. And it's still very complicated. I'm only up a pawn and a queen ending. The engine says it's +8 because it can calculate like mate in 10 or something. But I did this. I'm losing in 3 moves. And he doesn't see it. That's so stupid. We both missed queen g3 check. Here I was thinking, oh my god, maybe he has a perpetual with rook h3. Literally thinking about this. I literally thought about like this 3 moves ago. You know, check, here, check. I'm looking at this and I can't see queen g3 check. Black has forced win in 1 move. Terrible. Alright. Anybody who's a subscriber, Jim and Morales, you guys first. Dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop that. Alright? I've warned you before about please don't spam my stream. I'm blocking people on lichess now, okay? I'm just streaming on Twitch. So that's a separate thing. Alright, Jim, what's up? I asked you already, please don't continue to do that. I don't want to have to time you out again. Alright, e3. Jim is tough. Yeah, this variation is really solid. I'm supposed to be playing unusual openings. What can we do here that's fun? You're not that tough these days. I know it's possible to play knight f6, bishop b5, but that's not an unusual opening. Everybody plays that now. So what can I do here for fun? Like a quick e4? My friend Pop Geller played this on move 3. He played e4 against Lapshin. That's maybe even better, but it's probably very similar. So c4. Now my pawn on e4 might be overextended. That's our problem. Padron and Tony, who is Boston Mike? c4 is a great move. Okay, this makes total sense. Sort of like surrounding the e4 pawn. It's not Larson Spassky. There was a knight f3. E4 was justified in Larson Spassky. This is like playing E4 unprovoked. Yes, that's a great game. Spassky killed him with a great attacking game with black. But I'm just trying to invent something creative here, rather than play what we've seen before. How about b6, I wonder? Somehow the position reminds me a little of like a b3 Sicilian now. b6 with the idea of bishop b7. A way of maybe guarding that pawn on e4? How can you cheer? It's a cheer command. Jim, you resigned our correspondence game. What? Did you forfeit our correspondence game? What are you doing? Or is it just a draw? I won. Jim, what are you doing? I'm not supposed to win that game. You didn't make it in time. Oh no. Undeserved victory. I was getting concerned I was slightly worse, actually. I had to be careful not to be worse. My last move was like a totally defensive move before you lost on time. I played f5. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's a correspondence game I had with Jim. Wade is playing this perfectly. It's a almost like closed Sicilian, b3 Sicilian reversed. Jim, do you play the Sicilian? You should play the Sicilian. Now knight d5. g6, knight d5, bishop g7. How bad is it? It's pretty bad. Like g6, knight fd5, bishop g7, knight b5, rook c8. Can I do that? Oh man, I just lost my mind. Pray for me, please. Just knight takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop takes h8, f6, and white is probably winning. Man, I'm just totally out of it. What am I supposed to play now? I don't even have a move. It's crazy. I don't even have a move not to lose material here. Knight b4. I'm lost in 8 moves. Boston Mike. There was nobody in Boston named Boston Mike. It's strange there'd be someone. Maybe someone that I know who's called themselves Boston Mike that was never formerly known as Boston Mike. Would be my guess. Maybe someone that I know. But I never knew anyone as Boston Mike. You're thinking of Austin Mike. See these Italians? Boston, Austin, they don't know the difference. It just sounds like Boston. This game is horrible. played really badly. Tried to experiment in the opening with e4, and it's like a complete disaster. He's such an expert with this opening, it's unbelievable. He's also very, very good in the Smith-Morra, but this is his specialty. Better with this. Stick to your guns. No, like, I get punished for that overextended pawn. Now I'm okay. You let me off the hook when you didn't take it. But what a stupid opening for me. Well, that's what you call someone who's a devoted follower of my stream. I have people who I've played over 200 games with here. Jim is only like 4th most in terms of games played. Maybe even not 4th. The Catalan, it's like one of the most solid openings in the world. Of course it's good. Think about the players who play it. Damn. This just doesn't stop. I give up. I give up. Look how fast he is. You're up to 2242 in bullet. You're only playing bullet, and lots of it. This guy's so good he can't mate with king and rook versus king. Yeah. He would be laughed out of most chess hustling venues, obviously. Where I come from, he would be ignored and dismissed with shame. Oh my God. What? What is happening here? Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Look at this game. D5 was crazy, but I thought I could get away with it. Rook takes D5. Jesus, dude. You play better in a blitz game than I do in long games. Rook takes D5 is the #1 move. Easy win. You made one mistake? Yeah, not winning by force earlier, when you could have played knight takes e4. Wow, this game was one of my worst games ever. Yeah, this is just bad for black. I tried to be creative. Alright, that's the nature of the beast. Good game. Now I get Morales next. He's not quite as brutal as Jim. I am taking the challenges from people who are subscribers to the stream. Jim doesn't come to the stream for like a weekend and he just like crushes me with one inaccuracy after not playing for a week. That's pretty devastating. But I knew d5 was bad and I played it anyway. I'm actually okay there if I don't play d5. I'm only slightly worse. I knew I couldn't play it and I did it anyway. It's suicide. Alright, what are we going to do? Knight f3 for Morales. Unusual move. I'm on tilt. Let's try to play some kind of wing gambit here. If you subscribe, you can play first ahead of the other people. Man, that was brutal. Very rude awakening, Jim. The same thing happened to me with DK Guy yesterday. He was unbelievable. And he sort of ambushed me. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't realize how strong you are. I sort of forget how strong you are when I'm playing slightly weaker players. Then I get ambushed. And I'm not really up for it. Guys, there's a queue, so I can't just like play. Who was it? Amin is like 6th in the list, and Tukame would be next. But the other people are subscribers, subscribe to the stream, so I take their challenges first. It's either you're a subscriber and I take you ahead of everybody else, or you are where you are in the list of challenges. Two possibilities. But I won't pick people out of order unless I have a reason to. For those who subscribed, that's a benefit of subscribing. Alright, so I tried something unusual here. I sacrificed the pawn. I mean, it's not considered really sound to do this type of wing gambit against the English. But in practice, it may not be that bad. It's funny, my friend who played e4 against Lapshin crushed him badly. But maybe that was a different position. I can't remember now. If Lapshin played b4 or b3. They're similar. Jim, do you never play b4, right? b4 is much weaker, much more loose. The pawn is undefended. It's a much worse opening than b3. Well, I wouldn't call it ridiculous, but it wouldn't be that harsh. Now, that queen looks suspicious. However, if I play bishop f5, I mean, what's the plan? I gain a tempo, but is my bishop well placed on f5? This, though. Maybe bishop f5 and knight e4. I guess he could consider just queen d3. I mean bishop d3. Whatever. Queen d3. Of course. Takes, check, or check right away. Not what I expected. Giving me the pawn back. I feel very fortunate. I thought you should have played knight c3. Which way do I take? Queen takes. Possible to take with the pawn. I'm trying to play experimental stuff here. This is not my normal repertoire. So my results will be hopefully not as bad as last game, but not as good as usual. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Astrobate with 100 bit this week. It looks like the pandemic is having an economic effect. Everybody's broke. You're damn lucky with that tactic. The engine said you had another move, not just that one. Like there was a secondary way to play where you were clearly winning. Maybe not as winning, but still very strong. Morales has played 260 games against me. No way for me to leave my king in the center. A4 instantly. Jim, thanks for the donation. Jim donating even though he can't afford it. Man, I get Jim and Morales back to back. These guys are brutal. A4 is a professional move. It's like playing Schieferspieler. I have no chance to win. Draw, probably I can get a draw here. 0 winning chances. There goes the queen side. I don't really feel like taking on A4 and giving him an outside pawn either. Black has no winning chances. Taking gives him the outside A pawn. And I'm losing the A file too. Maybe rook A5. That's a weird move. I just don't see how black can even consider more than a draw here. It's brutal. A4. I mean, it's a pretty obvious move. He could play passively with A3, but this puts his pawns on the right color. He has a good chance of getting a C4 outpost for his knight. His king is in the center of the board. White is just better. Everybody's a master. K5, bishop C3. I can't find a good move. I might as well just take. Morales is a sandbagger from way back. 2004. He used to keep his rating under 2000 to try to qualify for the under 2000 prizes. But I guess eventually he retired from that. 75 points against me out of a possibility of 260. Well, I guess that's normal for like 2100. Strong 2100, say. I don't know, Morales might be the leader now. Probably is. Mule Skinner had a lot, but he hasn't been on at all. The other players who have a lot of games haven't been on the stream. So I guess Morales is the clear leader. Nobody's ever reached 300. So I have to have a party. We'll have a 300 game party for Morales. You have 40 to go. First to 300. 39 to go after this. It's like playing the rock. Rook b4. Do we have something here? Rook b4 a5, obviously. There is knight d5, whatever that's worth. Does it lose pieces and stuff? I could easily like lose a piece with this move. Not so easy though. Theoretically, white is better. His pawn is further outside. Theoretically, the king in the ending should be centralized. My instinct is that it's a draw with best play. White's advantage is not enough to be a winning position, but he's better. The time, though, complicates things. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't like this. I'm slow, totally. It's 1814 in bullet. It's unbelievable how you could be 1800 in bullet, man. And this good. He doesn't make a lot of blunders. Jim's very similar. And you're fast and you don't make a lot of blunders. I don't know how it's possible to be 1800. I'm scared of the outside A pawn. Check, check, take, but I'm still struggling in that ending. I'm gonna lose on time. I don't think the outside pawn is afraid of me, man. I'm just lost. I was gonna do rook takes f2 check, but I should have done rook takes f2 check, but I'm worse in this ending. Rook f2, king f2, knight d3 check, king e2, knight takes c5, a5, and white is just better. Maybe it's a draw. He blundered. He missed knight takes b4. Just wins on the spot. Double blunder. He's sort of like panicking. I'm totally flustered. I should have lost this game too. It's like automatically trying to win. Yeah, pretty impressive technique with no time left. I thought he was collapsing for a minute, but he was actually in the process of trying to win. I didn't understand what was going on. He just missed, like, simply winning with knight b4. This position, I'm in desperate trouble. I should play rook takes f2 check, but I rejected it. I didn't think knight d3 worked, but this is my best chance. Like rook f2, king f2. I rejected this because his outside pawn is so strong. Maybe it's a draw though, objectively. Not so simple. So instead I played rook c8, which just loses, I thought. Did I miss something? Oh, I missed something. He wasn't winning. Wow, so you saw that. You actually saw that. I didn't see I had rook takes b5, knight d3, rook f5 check. Oh. So it didn't work. I'm lucky. Okay. I thought I had blown it, like, completely. It's funny, you have another move that does work. Here, here, check, king f7, and knight takes c5 with good winning chances. Alright, I thought you missed a clear win there. Tukame. Yeah, I was convinced I was lost. I was like really pissed. So this guy plays very systematic stuff with white, London system, something else recently. I've got to play fully hyper modern to avoid that. Maybe like the Polish, after Jim said it's bad. c5 I played against him. He played bishop f4 anyway. Do you keep challenging me? Some people I think secretly challenge me with white, and then they have white every game. And they're like, why do I always get white? That's one thing I think is weird. When someone challenges you to specifically white, you should see the challenge saying that they're challenging you as white. It's like a secret feature. I don't know what to do. The London system, I've got to avoid it. How about like knight c6 on move 1? Oh, in defense, yeah, b6 is a good choice against the London system player. So we've got a draw and a loss against Morales and Jim today. Not looking too sharp. Yesterday was bad. My Blitz tournament was very shaky. If you join us for our Tuesday event, guys, you can join the Pawn and Horses Club. I don't know what happened. I played well this weekend, but since since Monday I've been kind of really shaky. I don't know what's going on with me. My play seemed to fall off. Now knight h5. This isn't really an unusual opening, though. It's hard to deal with this stuff. It's just, we just get it over and over again. It's like playing tic-tac-toe. It drives me crazy. Seriously, I'll quit chess if people don't stop playing the London system. Knight on c6 is not that great for black because it inhibits my ability to attack the center. On the other hand, I guess e5 is a more realistic option now. So, Padron and Tony, thanks for donating the subscription. I mean, for subscribing. 11 months now, Mr. Tony. Now, this is a big mistake by white. You definitely don't really want to trade your strong point on d4 off. By doing this, I feel like not only you trade off your strong point, but you potentially open up my bishop a little bit on the long diagonal. So I'm going to take with a knight for liberation of the bishop on g7. He was already subscribed. Grammar check. Oh shit, they canceled your subscription? Like in mid-subscription, you can be canceled? Isn't that, like, impossible? Once you've paid for a subscription, I would think that's crazy. You can't, like, be canceled in mid-sub, can you? Alright, welcome to subscription under any circumstances. Thank you. So, I don't like the way that white traded off a strong point, but still, it's like a Caro-Kann kind of with white. What am I supposed to do? C6 or something? I've got to watch this. We're not letting you have my bishop pair. The bishop on g7 stays. We go like queen e7. I'm waiting to see where he puts his king. We can whip up a pretty strong queenside attack, I would think. Now we have the strong center. The renewal was due to come. Okay. Well, thanks for supporting the stream. Even if your credit card forced you to do it. It's a thought that counts. Dracofire, Dweep, Abject Pawn. I've got time for probably 2 more games. Dweep, I was impressed by. They joined our team yesterday, and they're 1881, but they had like a 2100 performance and a very solid game against me. So whoever they are, clearly stronger than their rating. They got 5 points out of 9 in the Blitz tournament last night, which is a really solid result. Is it that white is waiting for me to castle? Is that what we're doing here? Are you waiting for me to castle? I was waiting for you to castle. We're playing the waiting game. The Edinburgh system. The Edinburgh pub crawl. September. So they hurt themselves with their own promotion. Now king e2. I think he's too obsessed with this h-file. Your king is not really safe there on e2, man. I don't think that's a good idea. I was considering h5 anyway, but now I'm definitely going to play it. There's no way white should leave the king on e2. It's even possible Castle's queenside is better than that. I mean, Castle's queenside, again, Carol Khan reference. Not that stupid. Blocking my f-pawn. We can't stay with the king on e2 forever here. We know a lot about pub crawls here in Budapest. Lots of tourists from the UK. That was one of my worst, most hated experience when I lived on like a main street and the drunk UK tourists would be like singing in the middle of the night outside at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was hating life. All right. What are we doing? Try to get the pieces developed? Yeah, white eventually had to admit his mistake and play king f1. Nothing wrong with being drunk, but you can't sing outside my apartment at 2 o'clock in the morning. Not acceptable. Anyway, we've moved since then. It's all good. I'm out of the tourist zone into the slum. Bishop e2, the quiet slum. What am I doing here? Yeah, I don't really want to trade pieces, frankly. Frankly, my dear. We are not down with exchanging pieces. Automated castling. White's got the solid style. There was this guy I played in the springtime. Maybe it was the winter in January. He played the Stonewall attack and the London system. Very similar to Tukame. He liked closed positions and he was fast. And somehow I busted his Stonewall defense. Or it was the London actually. But it took forever. It was really, really closed position. I eventually mated him. Yeah, it's not happening. I'm not trading pieces. Sorry. Incredibly solid, isn't he? Very similar to that guy. He was like a 2000 player. Plays just like you. What am I going to do? He's like focused on g6. I might actually have to exchange. It's crazy. What about h4? h4, g4? Maybe I should try ops color bishops. Honestly. What would Schieberspieler do? Bishop versus knight, I guess. That's what we're going to have to do here. Eventually I'm going to have to exchange it. How about rook takes e3? Man, this guy is tough. It's unbelievable. He forced me to exchange his bishop off. Incredible. I have the tiniest of advantages. It's like, dude, how are you so fast and solid? Wow. Brutal. Guys, I have time for 2 more games after this. I really wanted to leave early, honestly. But I think I can hang. What about h4? Still doesn't do anything. He just pushes. Close it out. Happy to see c92. Queen feels misplaced. Probing. Bishops are stronger than knights. No, I'm definitely better here. I would never take a draw. Like maybe against like a grandmaster who was rated 2500 plus. But I would never take a draw against an even rated IM or something. Black is definitely better. Let alone like someone who's lower rated. I would never ever agree to a draw in this position. We're clearly slightly better. Clearly slightly better. I mean, I admit it's not that easy. And I could blunder with that move. How about an ending? Then we're safer. Last chance of like an overt blunder, losing the game. Wow, he doesn't want to trade queens. Weird. Kind of a weird decision, honestly. Damn, sees everything. But he's falling apart now. Two pawns down and an ending. No chance for white here. Played a little too fast. Dual pass pawns. Dueling pianos. Alright. No time for a rematch. The advantage there for black is small, but it's durable. I would never not try to win with the bishop and a slightly stronger pawn in the center on d5. White has to really work for a draw. Dracofire. Dracofire, I was thinking of you earlier. You play very similar to Ludlud. It was you I was trying to remember. Time for 2 games, guys. Last ones. Thanks to Jim for the donation of 500 bits today. I was getting a little worried. Might have to bag it. Will this pandemic ever be over? Let's try h4. Triathlon. It's always appropriate to play h4 against the fianchetto, right? It's always sound. I should do it on move 2 though. That's in the link Springer. This is probably analyzed. I should play h4 right away. I'm not saying it's the best move, it's just interesting. After d6, e4, e6, bishop d3, knight e7, we would transpose to Benoni's I've had. But against knight f6, yeah, Tukame, I don't know. I mean, you're like slightly worse, and it's not easy. Not that you're lost, but when you offer a draw, I've got to play for a win. I'm slightly better. a6 early. Interesting move. So I can play h5. Black gets in b5 on the queen side. What about h6? That's not a problem. Princess Chess, welcome. Yeah, I'm going to play h6 here. I've got to ask you what you're going to do with that bishop on g7, where you're going to put it. Princess Chess just in time for the last 2 games. Going after the dark square bishop. Give me that bishop. Give me the dark squares. This pawn happens to be a little weak. Dracofire has malfunctioned. The lesser of the evils, well, I mean, I recommend playing knight f6, man. You've got to play knight f6. Try to stop h5 and call my whole bullshit into question. You're not castled, and the exchange sacrifice like h5 isn't really sound until you at least have castled. So I think you need to play knight f6 there. And then the other thing is that maybe you ought to realistically consider taking on h5 before the pawn gets to h6. So now c3, bishop d2. I don't know. Queen a5 is kind of a weird move. But it does make some sense. I mean, what am I going to do about it? So knight f6, knight f6, c4. That's what I'm going to do about it. When you got to ask serious questions about black's kingside, that diagonal, if he takes en passant, is not great. It reminds me of a game I had in the Banco, a couple of games I had in the Banco. BC, bishop takes c3 looks good for white. This isn't good. Black would have to be very creative to make this work. Guys, tomorrow we have the subscriber stream. I know Astrobate, Princess Chess, Bob, and Marco have submitted games for analysis. If anybody else is interested, let me know. Send a message to my account. Sparkle Horse on lichess. Look at the dark squares, dude. My goodness. How does that diagonal strike you? So, how do I take advantage of it? Bishop f4 comes to mind. Pawn takes pawn, bishop e5. Bishop f4, pawn takes pawn, bishop e5, king e7, and then it's like, okay. d6 check. God, and I don't see a way to win. Now, wow. Trying to exploit the dark squares here. Luckily I had breakfast, so you're not making me hungry talking about pizza. Yesterday I was kind of distracted at the end of the stream. Okay guys, tomorrow night subscriber stream. This move I disregarded. I thought it's just too loose. But you've got b3 check. That's an issue. That is a very serious issue. Oh my god, it's actually gonna work for you? I don't think so. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna have to play b3. I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it. Allowing you to even come in here if I have to. But I can't be allowing him to play b3 check. This is just ridiculous opening for black. But he's almost getting away with it. Giving up his dark square bishop is like kamikaze chess. If pawn takes, queen takes, he loses material. And his queen side is totally boxed in because of the space advantage. He can't go knight a6, he can't go knight c6, he's having trouble playing d6. Serious problems here. Knight c3 obviously is a concept, but there are many issues. I just develop and then I'll surround that knight on c3 and maybe win a pawn. Queen c2 threatening bishop e5, queen d3 maybe. Burning bridges is your specialty. Bridge burner. But I'm not sure now. Crazy world we live in. Things are not so clear here. I've got to be careful. He's got a nice knight on c3. Guys, last game after this against Dweep. Strong performer in yesterday's Blitz tournament. Got a draw against me. Made me grovel for a draw down a pawn in an endgame. So, wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. This is a very serious situation. No more Mr. Nice Guy. So what was it if bishop takes d6? Maybe, maybe I just made a mistake, honestly. No, bishop f5 bothered me. But realistically, I don't know. Maybe I should take that pawn. Now he has rook e8 and f5 type of ideas. This makes me slightly doubt what I just did. We can get rid of that knight, though. But I feel like I've screwed this up, man. I should have been winning like 10 moves ago, and he's still alive. That's crazy. I let black survive this. Pretty impressive. Queen a5. What a weird idea. He managed to get his knight to c3. Dracofire has a very unusual style. This is outrageously risky. Artichokes, I'm kind of indifferent to those. Acquired taste. It's better than anchovies. Man, what a game. You're a sick puppy, Dracofire, to play chess like this. Now do I have to take the pawn? The price I have to pay for this is huge. Giving up my white square diagonal here to win that pawn on d6. He went with the other way. But now he loses more stuff. I don't think so. Now this is weak. He lost too much stuff. I thought taking with the queen was the real last chance. And white is just winning. One last fork. Some tricks with knight c5. So that's serious. He's hanging on here. Take, queen f4. Castles, queen takes h6. Interesting style. Maybe I have queen a7 there, but queen c2 doesn't seem as good. I think he should have played queen f4. That pawn is much more important. The b pawn I can afford to give up. Now black's in trouble. They don't necessarily want to lose the pawn. Man, this game took forever. Alright. Resigns. 2 pawns down. So if you play that here, queen f4. How about chances there? The engine still thinks you're lost. But I didn't think it was that easy. Alright. Last game. Last game for today, guys. 3 decimeter. 1 meter of pizza. They measure pizza in meters in Italy. Are you serious? Fior di latte. So what are we going to do? We'll play e4 and then decide. Last time I played d4 against this player. So the Pierce defense, I don't know, let's try something weird. b3. The 4-cheese pizza, very popular. Good question. Could transpose to a Sicilian. Whenever I get 4-cheese pizza, I feel like they're lying and there's only like 2 or 3. Pizza paranoia. Very prevalent. Prevalent pizza paranoia. The prevalence of paranoia. So, it's just a weird thing I'm doing here. With b3, bishop b2 against the Pierce. But Padron Antoni is a culinary expert. Good to have one of those in the stream. Culinist. An Italian culinist. I grew up in South Jersey. It's like Little Italy. %60 of my neighbors, I'm exaggerating, but the largest proportion of people in my region were Italian. Knight f2 castles. Alright. What are we going to do? From South Jersey to Budapest. Where are we going to go? Just develop the pizzas. Yeah, I can't stand pineapple on pizza. And the other thing that annoyed me, like the first time I ever saw it was in the UK, of course. Corn on pizza. I don't think I had seen until the mid-90s. But now everything, California style. Corn on pizza just didn't do it for me. So if castles, knight takes e4, this is what bothers me. Castles, knight takes e4, bishop takes g7, knight takes f2. And we've never played Dweep other than one game where he drew and played like a master. So I'm a little concerned about my chances here. How do Italians feel about corn on pizza? Padron. Offensive. Oh, the worst thing is in Hungary. They sort of cut back on it, but when I first came here in the late 90s, if you ordered pizza, it had very little tomato sauce, if any, and you had to like put your own ketchup on the pizza. That was pizza. I was like, dude, that's gross. Black's play looks pretty much unbeatable. Standard King's Indian style attack. Wild Woods. Close. I never was big on Wildwood. Party Town. Corn on pizza is a murder. Corn on pizza is unbelievable. Cheddar is out of the question. Agreed. Unless you're desperate making your own pizza at home. Corn and chili is okay, I think. Direct. Very direct approach with knight h5. That's worrisome. So now I have to play like g3. Fortunately, my knight on f2 can hold the white squares. But this is totally made up rope-a-dope setup for white. Guys, last game I gotta go. I didn't even have time for this, honestly. Tony, thanks for the submission. Guys, tomorrow night, subscriber stream. So, we'll do up to 10 games of game analysis, 6:30 CEST on the stream. What's the evaluation here? Momentarily, white stands better due to central pawn predominance. King's Indian loses some of its bite when that dark square bishop is gone. The Benoni is the same, maybe worse. So I don't really like, in general, what's happening here for black should favor white. The fact that he lost that bishop, but my setup isn't that great, honestly. White's pieces are pretty passively placed, and not so sure. So rook d1. Going for the greedy grabber. Gonna get me a beer. Knight a3. This would have been an interesting move, perhaps. Instead of rook d1. That was out of my mind for a moment. That was my original plan. Had slipped my mind. But we've got the advantage now. LVN, welcome. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks to Mr. Sohan for your gift sub. I concur. Guys, and this includes LVN, if you'd like to submit a game for a Thursday stream, we're going to be here tomorrow night. Just about to log off. Last game. So black's going to lose a pawn here. Nothing that can be done about it. Tradings of queens. Tradings of queens. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really change the situation. The tradings of queens. We had terrific pizza where I grew up. Second generation Italians. What are we gonna do? Knight takes d6 right away. Looks kind of forced. Actually, this is my last chance. For now or forever, hold your pawn. I must take it now before the knight gets distracted by the knight on e5. Everything's under control. This is guarded. We keep our strong point on e4. We're golden. Clear pawn up. And now he's starting to break through along the f file. And if takes, his bishop becomes very active. So I was thinking f4, knight f7. But I can't play e5. There's no time to play e5. Rook d1. Black has counterplay. I feel like I need to play f4. Most of his pawns are on the wrong color. But he played knight g4. This is a terrible blunder. I mean, black's only chance here is knight f7. Still, white is probably winning, but after knight g4, I feel like he's dead. Black should be dead. The e-pawn is too strong. There's just no way you should be able to survive this. Your bishop can't move. Knight g4 is game over. You guys are making everybody hungry. Anyway, I'm out of here after this game. I'm going to get some exercise. Maybe getting some lunch. Too much talking about food. Dangerous. Maybe I'll do a little raid of Mircea. So if you guys want to hang with me, you'll get to watch him. Grandmaster from Romania. Mircea. Most of the people have left. Our stream's sort of depleted since we were at our peak today. Every day is different. Stuff shells, man. Stop talking about this stuff. It's not cool. Not cool. But the g6, I've got this. Maybe bishop c4. Black's going for brokedom. Perpetual brokenness. e5. Does black have enough here, compensation-wise? After bishop f5, bishop d3? Probably not. I mean, I have too much to open file, the good king. It looks like he's dead. Counterplay is too slow along the h file. That's probably his plan. But he's going to get his king messed up. So it's over. Pulled pork. I think you mentioned this earlier. Italian barbecue. Very famous. We'll leave that to the Americans. Stop pulling the porks. So what about this here? Does black have any hope? Realistically, I'm threatening rook takes f7 check now. Too many pawns. Only up one pawn, but protected passer. Rook takes, e6. It's like I should probably take on h4 at some point. Kind of like a bonus pawn. We should be winning. But I made this a little harder than it needed to be, I feel like. Taking that was kind of inaccurate. Another good move was rook. Actually, it's still a good move. Damn, rook here. Maybe not. I guess I'm just winning. Realistically. He doesn't have enough counterplay. If I didn't have an H-pawn, I guess white is in trouble. Ode to the H-pawn. I guess rook d8 is a better move there. Alright guys, thanks for the games. Good games by Jim today. Crushed me. And Morales with a better half of a draw. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for game analysis. I'm going to raid Merchea here and keep hosting for a little while. So take care, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. On behalf of the Panda, thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.